How to feel empowered. There's a lot that goes into feeling empowered, but I want to take a look at a few basic things that we need to understand in order to be on the path to empowerment. One of the first is that empowerment comes from within. There are no outside metrics. There is no level of measure from outside validation or approval. It comes from within. So every time we feel like we need to align with a sense of empowerment, and we do that by taking the next course or signing up with the next guru, enrolling with this or that, right? If it's not coming from a place that's truly within ourselves and completely aligned with what we've determined is what our values, our passions, our desires are, then chances are we might be getting engaged in a false sense of power or a false sense of powerlessness, right? These are things I talk about in lots of different ways, but if you haven't already downloaded my balance and empowerment cards, there's a link in the description. You can do that. And this is where those cards will talk about false power, false powerlessness. And I encourage you to download them because there's a set of 12. They're really cool. And each is a virtue, a practice that you can work with on a regular basis to move toward that true sense of empowerment, okay? And so when we aren't sourcing power from within, we can get into false power that has us seeking to align with things that make us feel powerful, and usually they're outside of ourselves, and therefore we end up maybe temporarily or sort of in the moment feeling powerful, but then we end up feeling empty and we feel the lack. We feel something isn't quite right. Or we end up aligning with something like being like false powerlessness, where we feel like a victim. I'll never get out of this. I'll never move beyond this. It'll never happen for me, right? And there's this place of finding the middle way, finding the balance between the two so that we can truly find true empowerment. And this is lots and lots of different practices. This is why those balance and empowerment cards will be super helpful. Now, another thing to understand about true empowerment is it has nothing to do with the patriarchal dominance culture motto of power over, right? Nothing that we're doing is about trying to have power over. It's about trying to sense our inner sovereignty and know that we are our own self-leader. That is what true empowerment is about. It's not competitive, it's collaborative, right? It's not power over, it's empowerment. It's not scarcity and feeling less than or any of that. It's a knowing of abundance, a knowing of generosity. Okay? The other piece about true empowerment is it has everything to do with being real, with being authentic, with aligning with your truest self. It is a harder thing to do than we might think. And it's not just a flip a switch, quick magic pill that's going to get us there. It's a journey, it's practice. It's a practice of continuing to find that middle way, to notice when we're off center, to notice when we're aligning with something that doesn't feel like us, right? And the final piece about true empowerment that I want to bring to you is the idea of surrender, letting go. Now, our history books would say that surrender means you lost, you were defeated, you were not the more powerful force, right? And it's exactly the opposite for true empowerment. This is exactly how the patriarchal dominance culture has had us thinking that in order to feel empowered, we have to win, we have to have power over, we have to dominate. And that couldn't be further from the truth. What's really needed is the capacity to surrender when we know that we're, fighting an uphill battle, so to speak, or fighting any battle. It's not to say that life itself is supposed to be, free-flowing and easy, and that if it's not free-flowing and easy, we should abandon the mission and go on to something else. Not at all. We are all human beings. We're all going to face challenges. We're all going to suffer. This idea that it's supposed to be super easy, I think, is leading us down a path of false power. Okay? But this idea that it's so hard and it'll never be easy is that path of false powerlessness. So to find that path of empowerment is to be able to say, all right, these are the obstacles in my way. Can I accept them? Can I learn about them? Can I find my way to go through them, over them, around them, work with them, let them guide me and show me different ideas and practices, right? That is what it means to surrender, to let go, to be in acceptance. That is such a huge key to feeling empowered. So I hope you'll download the balance and empowerment cards in the link in the description below. And also subscribe to this channel. Share this with someone else. Let them know about the balance and empowerment cards. They're super cool, super fun. And I wish you all the empowerment, the true aligned inner sovereign empowerment that you long for.